for a simple act of taking a picture of your vote, either to show allegiance to whoever you are voting for or for some other benefit. I don't know what motivates people to expose who they voted for. So that is discouraged, it is prohibited, it's against the law, and it has consequences. In terms of assisted voters, you know, in some instances, we have those voters who, for one reason or another, are not able to go through the voting process, and they require special assistance, be they people with disability or some form of illiteracy. The law allows that those voters can be assisted by a person of their choice. So nobody should force anybody to be assisted. If they wish to be assisted and our officials have verified that the person requires assistance, let that person choose a person of his or her choice to assist that person. We also wish to inform members of the public and the voting populations of all Kalou that no one person is allowed to assist more than one voter. We will not see a situation where one person is hovering around the polling stations and purporting to be assisting one voter after another, one voter after another. It is only one person to assist one voter, end of story. So again, that is something that we wish to communicate to the people of Kalou to be on the lookout. In terms of accreditation of agents and the conduct of anybody within the polling stations, and indeed our constituency tallying center, each participating political party or candidate is entitled to appoint one agent at each polling station and one chief agent at the tallying center. And I repeat again, each candidate or political party is allowed to appoint only one agent at each polling station and one chief agent at the tallying center. The tallying center will be at the constituency headquarters. And therefore, we shall not allow anybody roaming around our polling stations purporting to be agents if they are not appointed by the political parties or the candidates themselves, and they must be one. And our office gives them accreditation badges. So anybody who does not possess an accreditation badge should not be seen roaming around our polling stations. The police, the security will take action, and our officials will take action. So in that regard, in the last by-elections we conducted in the country, in Mbere, Malava, Kasipul, Unguja, Magarini, the Commission observed a phenomenon that is very much disturbing. There are some Kenyans, whether politicians or non-politicians, who purport to behave like super agents. And therefore, they come to our polling stations and try to disturb the peace or the peaceful conduct of the elections in those stations. We want to state categorically here that we will not allow anybody, whether it's a senior politician or a leader in this country, who has not been cleared and accredited by IEBC, to come with their security or their supporters to try and disturb the peace at the polling station or even overrun the polling station. We have asked the National Police Service and all security agencies to help us to deal with this phenomenon of super agents, who are mainly some of the senior politicians in this country. So we will not like to see that happening in all Kalou, and should it happen, we will take decisive action against those individuals. We also wish to remind that the public and members of the various political parties and supporters of the respective candidates that we shall not admit any person who is wearing a badge, clothing or symbol or any other item signifying support for a political party or candidate. The campaigns, as we have said, The campaign period ended yesterday at 6 p.m. So we do not expect campaigns at our polling stations when citizens are supposed to show up in a neutral environment to vote, cast their vote, and go home peacefully and wait for the results. So anybody who is seen in party colors or paraphernalia should be sent away from our polling stations, which should remain neutral from 6 up to 5 when we close. We also remind the voters that once you cast your vote, please exit the polling station immediately, and to allow other voters who are queuing the opportunity to also exercise their right to cast their vote and elect their leaders. So once you vote, please go home. Go to your comfort of your home or your farm or your shop and wait for the process to complete at 5. Once we close, the counting will begin in front of all the accredited agents and the candidates themselves. So the order at the polling station, the commission wishes to remind all stakeholders of the following legal provisions regarding the order at the polling stations. The presiding officer is responsible for conducting the elections at the polling station and maintaining law and order at the polling station throughout the process. And in doing so, especially for security, the presiding officer at that particular polling station is assigned 2 police officers who will be responsible for a radius of about 400 square meters, which is the jurisdiction within which we conduct the elections. And therefore, the police officers assigned to the presiding officer maintain law and order. And therefore, we urge the voters in Kalou to ensure that they respect our polling stations, they respect our officers, and that they follow their instructions on how to conduct themselves while they are within the polling stations. And therefore, within the polling station, anybody who is engaging in disorderly conduct or fails to comply with lawful instructions of the presiding officer will be ordered to leave the precinct, and necessary actions will be taken to discourage such kind of conduct. We have, in each of the polling stations, we have put the rules there on display. So we urge the citizens and the voters of Kalou to read, to familiarize themselves with those rules, and make sure they adhere with those rules. So the presiding officer is in charge and will take any necessary lawful action to secure the polling station and to ensure voting proceeds peacefully and uninterrupted and until it's closed. So those people who sometimes are inclined to try and storm any polling station, just be warned that action will be taken, because we'll have adequate security protecting every polling station and allowing citizens to come and cast their vote peacefully without any disturbance. In terms of security arrangements, you can see the IG is here with his 2 deputies. We have the DCI. They will speak more about the security arrangements for this, to secure the elections, to ensure that there's peace, there's tranquility, and the voters of Kalou exercise their rights peacefully to elect their leaders. So as a commission, I would like to thank the close collaboration we've had with the National Police, with other commissions present here, including National Cohesion and Integration Commission, to ensure that we make all the necessary arrangements, including security, so that the by-election in Kalou succeeds.